Now to Mayor Mike Collins. He is resting in the hospital tonight. The mayor suffered a medical emergency while he was driving along Hill and Parkside about 2 o'clock this afternoon. 13 ABC's Sean Hagerty live outside UTMC where the mayor is in intensive care tonight. Sean?
And we just received a statement from the mayor's office updating his condition. As you said, he is heavily sedated and he's being closely monitored. According to that statement, it also says at this point, it is too early yet to establish the timing or the likelihood of his recovery. He is surrounded by family members. We've seen lots of members of his staff also going through to the hospital tonight. Many people also crediting at least one Good Samaritan with making sure that he got here to UTMC alive. Here's a look at the accident scene near Hill and Parkside. And just before that, Mayor Collins left a grocery store. He then got into his black SUV, started driving, and then we're told he went into cardiac arrest, crashing into a pole around 2 p.m. on Sunday. Officials say he was unconscious on the scene.
I, Paula Hicks Hudson.
Sunday morning, she was city council president.
I do hereby solemnly swear to.
By 5:30, Paula Hicks Hudson was acting mayor. Yesterday's move dictated by Toledo's city charter. Today, she met with city directors for an update on what she called burning issues facing the city.
Looking at those projects that are in the pipeline and just keeping the city running. I think that's, to me, the main thing at this point.
Is because this is a place that shows possibilities and it shows community.
Today's announcement is really no surprise. Most politicians grow into their roles, and that's certainly true of Paula Hicks Hudson. 46 days ago, she was council president.
With the full duties and responsibilities.
Then Mayor Collins suffered cardiac arrest and died.
This is the people's office.
Today, the woman who reluctantly stepped up February 1st told us she's convinced she needs to finish the Collins term.
It was like, do I walk away or do I take that opportunity that's been given to me and move us forward?
Her focus is economic development and building what she calls livable, workable, safe, and strong communities. Not much different from the Collins agenda, and continuity is part of Hicks Hudson's appeal, and she will rely on the Collins staff to run city government for now. But the prospect of Mayor Collins' widow, Sandy Drabick, running for office could make for an interesting mayoral race.
Have you given any more thought to running? Have you made a decision?
No, I have not.
But this race will be about more than politics, policy, and personality. It will also have a possibilities quotient, as the city could elect its first African-American woman mayor.
It's been really interesting to see young women, young girls who come and say, oh, there's the mayor. Oh, I know her. Oh, she looks like me. And I think that's important for young people to see.
I'm announcing this morning that I'm running for mayor of Toledo.
Flanked by supporters, Sandy Drabick Collins officially gets into the race to put a Collins back in Toledo's top office.
You know, I never expected to be standing here, right? Never. And, you know, the events of February, which resulted in our losing Mike, changed a lot.
Drabick Collins says she wants to finish Mike's platform that focused on infrastructure, public safety, and economic development. She says it is time to start talking about taking the Marina District back and favors a plan to allow voters to decide if the temporary income tax would become permanent. Plans she thinks she could accomplish without a political background.
City services are not political. They're not Democrat or Republican or anything. They're city services that the people need, and they want them done right. And they really, when it comes right down to it, that's what they want. Good city services. So that's what my background is good services.
Drabick Collins has worked in former governor's administrations, also in the area of public works and equal opportunity. She says she and her late husband were a team, so she believes she's prepared for the job, although some may not agree. One of the criticisms you know you're going to hear is that you're just riding on the Collins name. What would you say to that criticism?
Well, I would say that in my own right I have experience, but I got a lot of experience working side by side with Mike and helping him create his platform. So I will not try to separate myself from that.
Why do you want to run for mayor again?
I think the city needs leadership.
Cardi Finkbeiner. Politically speaking, he's as tied to Toledo as the Mud Hens. But should he run for mayor again? He's 75 years old, was mayor 3 times.
Oh.
Was he a good mayor?
He was controversial, his temper flared, he was demanding. But the way Cardi looks at it, the streets were fixed, the neighborhoods were clean, and the city was safe. So you think things have fallen apart since you left?
I don't think they have. I know they have.
What did you think of his terms as mayor?
Well, I know he didn't let council and that push him around. He got what he was going after.
On his watch, Jeep stayed, but Southwick slowly died. He laid off police and imposed unpaid half-day furloughs to save money. But he did not shortchange the capital improvement budget just to balance the city's books. Cardi Finkbeiner's thinking of running for mayor again.
Nah, can't see that happening.
What if he does? Would you vote for him?
No.
Shouldn't there be new blood?
Change is always good.
I'd be delighted if a 33 or 34-year-old with a lot of vim, vigor, and vitality and some vision for urban government surfaced during the course of this summer and put his or her hat in the ring. That actually would be extremely exciting.
But right now, Cardi doesn't see that anywhere in city government. So he's waiting out the summer before deciding what to do. Why not?
Yeah, because you're not garbage just because you're 75, you know. He might still have some good things to do.
A little hard work and a little teamwork, I think that can take us a little further than we are right now.
He's one of the last people to hold the office and officially the last filing to get back in it. Former Mayor Mike Bell filing his petitions Friday, about an hour after former City Councilman Mike Ferner filed. They joined longtime candidate Opal Covey, Sandy Drabick Collins, the widow of the late Mayor Mike Collins, another former mayor Cardi Finkbeiner, the incumbent Paula Hicks Hudson, and current at-large City Councilwoman Sandy Spang. A mayoral general election never usually has this many candidates, but after the death of Mayor Collins, the city charter does not allow for a primary, so it's winner take all. Now, last time we saw this many people in a mayoral race was the 2013 primary. Bell won that one with 6,382 votes. That's roughly 2% of the city of Toledo's population. Collins won the last general election with about double the turnout, and he won with 28,159 votes. That's about 10% of the Toledo population. So with a huge field, every vote really will count. And then there's this anomaly. Toledo's mayor can only serve 2 consecutive 4-year terms. But the charter says the last 2 years of Collins' term don't count toward that. So for example, if Mayor Hicks Hudson wins in November, she could still serve 2 more terms, meaning she could serve just short of 11 straight years. The rest could do 10 straight years.
The issues that matter to our community. The answers from the next leader of our city. 7 candidates, 1 winner. 13 ABC and The Blade present the Toledo Mayoral Debate.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Mayoral Debate. I'm Diane Larson from 13 ABC, and I'll be your moderator for this evening. Very glad to be with you. We do have 7 candidates seeking the job of mayor to fill the unexpired term of the late Mayor D. Michael Collins. Normally, we would see this many candidates on a primary ballot because of the unusual circumstances this election year. All 7 will be on next Tuesday's ballot, and we hope that during this next hour, you either solidify the decision you've already made or perhaps even make up your mind as to who you want to lead the city for the next 2 years. So now let's meet the candidates. We start with Sandy Spang. She is the owner of Plate 21 and an independent at-large Toledo City Councilwoman. Next, Mike Ferner, an independent who served on Toledo City Council from 1990 to 1993. Sandy Drabick Collins is a former top state administrator running as an independent to finish the 2 years left on her late husband's term. Opal Covey is a self-proclaimed prophetess running as a Republican. Paula Hicks Hudson, the endorsed Democrat and former Toledo City Council president who automatically became mayor upon the death of Mayor Collins. Former Toledo Fire Chief, former State Fire Marshal, and former Toledo Mayor running as an independent but endorsed by the local Republican Party is Mike Bell. And Cardi Finkbeiner, former 3-term Toledo mayor running as an unendorsed Democrat. And now we'd like to meet our panel who will be asking the questions tonight. We start with Lee Conklin, 13 ABC co-anchor at 5, 5:30, 6, and 11, and the host of the Sunday Public Affairs show, Conklin and Company. Next to him, Marlene Harris-Taylor, the Blade's medical editor. Bill Horman, politics reporter and weekend anchor for 13 ABC Action News, and Tom Troy, the Blade's politics writer. Now, this debate is going to consist of a 30-second opening statement, a 30-second closing statement, and 1 minute to answer the questions. We may amend those later questions to 30 seconds or 45 seconds, depending on how we're doing on time. The candidates will answer the question in the order in which I introduced them, and that order was picked at a drawing that was held at 13 ABC Studios at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on October 19th. Nobody showed up, but we taped it in case there are any questions about it. The closing statements will be delivered in reverse order. And rebuttal will be at the moderator's discretion. We're going to try to follow the CNN sort of debate format where if one of the candidates brings up another's record or says something about the other one, we'll give that person an opportunity to respond in no more than 30 seconds. And I should note that we do have to take a hard break at 7:29 to get in the lottery drawing, so I hope not to cut anybody off, but if I have to, I hope you'll understand why. Okay, we have a lot to get to, so we want to start right now. We're going to start with those 30-second opening statements, and we start with Sandy Spang.
Good evening. I'm Toledo City Council Member at Large, Sandy Spang. I'm a job creator with 30 years experience in property management, and I've stepped out of the business world to serve our city. I've looked outside of Toledo to see what works. I'm a highly collaborative leader, a true independent with no political ties. I'm current on the issues, and I'm ready to lead.
All right, thanks very much. And you're economical with time. Up next, Mike Ferner with his opening statements.
Good evening. My name's Mike Ferner. I was on City Council 20-some years ago for 2 terms, and I really enjoyed that time because I was able to take a look at the public interest and as an independent on City Council really fight for what I thought was in the best interest of the public. I'm a union organizer and have organized in the environmental and labor fields, and I think that's helpful to city government because one of the best things an organizer can do is to listen to the bell.
Thanks very much. Up next, we have Sandy Drabick Collins.
Hi, I'm Sandy Drabick Collins. I'm running for mayor because I want to complete the last 2 years of my husband Mike's unexpired term. Today he would be smiling because ProMedica broke ground downtown Toledo, and he lifted that from the fire and he made it happen, and his team got it done. If I have the privilege to serve as mayor, I won't let you down.
Thank you very much. Up next, Opal Covey.
Hi, I'm Opal Covey. I'm the only one that has a vision for the city of Toledo to prosper it, bring jobs here, businesses, less crime, big money. I propose to start with Promenade Park, put an amusement park in there to start the program that I want to do, and then a water park at the Marina District and a big dinosaur park out on the 69 acres at Glendale. And I propose to keep on going. I don't propose to raise any taxes to do these things.
Thank you very much. Paula Hicks Hudson.
Thank you. For the past 8 months, you have known me as mayor. I did not seek this position, but I came to it ready and prepared. I came to Toledo and started my legal career as a legal aid lawyer. From there, I learned how to be an advocate for those who did not have a voice. I since have served as the legislative director for Toledo City Council, and most recently served as chief legal counsel for the Office of Budget and Management under Governor Strickland during a very critical time of financial difficulties in the state of Ohio.
Thank you so much. Mike Bell.
I'm Mike Bell. I was a former mayor. I served under the worst deficit we've ever had in the history of the city of Toledo. I'm coming back because I think things are broke again, and I just want the opportunity to fix it. Toledo is a great city. Any place I travel, people just seem to love this place. And so what I want to do is make sure, because I'm from here and everything I've gotten from Toledoans, I want to make sure that I'm able to give back. So that is why I'm running.
Thank you so much. And last, Cardi Finkbeiner.
Well, I want to thank The Blade, TV 13 and TV 30 for making this evening possible. I also want to thank Toledoans for the 3 terms that you have given me as your mayor. I seek this 2-year term because you need a mayor that can hit the ground running, that knows what the job is all about, and an individual who has gotten strong results in the past. I look forward to sharing my program thoughts with you this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Finkbeiner. Now the question and answer session.
It wasn't a job she sought, wasn't even a job she really wanted, but Paula Hicks Hudson says being mayor for the last 8 months has brought out the competitor in her.
I have a better sense of how to improve and get the city moving forward.
Paula Hicks Hudson believes she has grown in the job as mayor. We talked with her in the mayor's office, where over the last 8 months she has slowly developed an agenda that fits her priorities. And it begins with her top priority, safe water. No one wanted a repeat water crisis this summer, so she's pushing for more money for chemicals to fight algae at the intake valve. She's asking lawmakers for help, and she's providing daily updates on water quality.
Communications is clearly something that we have to do, not only between our state and federal partners, but also with our citizens and with our customers in the region, and that's important for me.
But also to tackle his second priority, fixing the streets. Ferner would organize communities to petition Columbus to get refund tax money back that they have lost. In Toledo's case, it's $13 million, money that could be used to fill potholes and pave roads.
If that means writing letters, making phone calls, taking buses full of people to Columbus, we need to get serious about changing these priorities around because the cities are starving right now, and we need to get the resources we need.
Better neighborhoods. Whether it's eliminating blight, reducing crime, or cleaning alleys, Sandy Collins wants the city to partner with people who are dedicated to improving their neighborhoods.
And if you just think about it, it helps people feel good about themselves and trust in government. And those have to happen for economic development also.
So you never stop wanting to make a difference. I don't give a darn what age you are. If you've got it in your blood, you want to make a difference.
Carty Finkbeiner still has it in his blood. If elected mayor a fourth time, he wants to focus on neighborhoods. We met him at the abandoned Champion Sparkplug site. Its decay is spreading through the nearby streets. But Carty says that can be stopped, and he told us clean neighborhoods must be a top priority. He wants to find grant money to hire 250 teens and adults to clean out sites just like this and to tidy up neighborhood streets.
I could see this housing perhaps 100 families back here once we got it cleaned up.
I refuse to sit in the stands and be a critic. I prefer to get in the game.
Mike Bell has been in the game, whether it was as a player on the UT football team or Toledo's fire chief or even Toledo's mayor. Mike Bell has been a leader. We talked with him on the 50-yard line at the Glass Bowl. He's been on the bench for a couple of years, but he says if elected as mayor this time, his top priority remains the budget. As mayor, Bell insists he inherited a $48 million deficit and cut it down to size. He says with a looming $4 million deficit now, we need to make smart cuts again.
We can figure out how to get the budget back into balance and figure out what we need to do for next year.
We're asking about her top 3 priorities if elected mayor, and they are a bit different from the other candidates.
So they want new ideas, they want a new future for Toledo. Yeah.
Sandy Spang is the fresh face in this race. She's been on council for 2 years, but she spent most of her time as a small business owner. So she believes the most important priority for a mayor must be the budget. Her solution is priority-based budgeting, where government looks at how it's spending money, then decides if that program is necessary.
It's really about measuring the performance year over year of that program and judging whether it's a priority for the community.
So her top priority is turning this spot into an amusement park and Toledo into a tourist destination. Tourism means money, and Opal means business when it comes to amusement parks and dinosaur parks.
Get this started. We need money desperately because the Democrats have just taken all of our money. They've bled us dry.
She doesn't offer evidence on what she calls bilking, but Opal insists it's costing Toledo when it comes to her second priority, fixing city streets.
I'll work harder than anyone.
TV ads and the debates gave voters a sense of the people who were running for office. What type of a candidate gets you a vote?
One that you can see through, one that's he's for real, that's for us.
But this voter told us she gets turned off by candidates who say something just to get elected and then ignore their promises.
For you to get my vote, keep your word. Welcome to 13 minutes of non-stop news on this election night. I'm Lee Conklin.
And I'm Diane Larson. Our reporters are live all across the city tonight tracking your vote.
13 ABC's Bill Horman, Christine Long, Melissa Vage, and Lisa Guyton spending the night with the Toledo mayoral candidates, and our Christian Brown following several local school levies.
That's right, and we want to begin our coverage, though, with 13 ABC's Christine Long. She is with incumbent Mayor Paula Hicks Hudson, whose numbers are looking extremely favorable right now. Christine.
Diane, the celebration is about to begin. I'm standing here with Mayor Paula Hicks Hudson. After being in the lead all night, are you ready to declare victory?
Yes, at this point, yes, because of the numbers and what's happening, so yes. And you hear the crowd, so yes, I'm very excited.
Now, you were handed the wheel to the ship earlier this year, and when you took over, you said you wanted to stay the course. Yeah. Now, you have been elected. Everyone's cheering for you to navigate your own course. What direction will you take the city?
We're going to keep the city going forward. We're going to work to get good jobs here, work to get a plan to fix the roads, and just keep us moving it forward as we have to.
Okay, we have seen back-to-back, before this moment, independents who have won the mayor's seat. It's been a while since an endorsed Democrat has won the seat. Is this also a big victory for the Lucas County Democrat Party?
It's a victory for the party, but it's also a victory for the working men and women in our community who believe that when you have ideas and you have commitment that we can, and we work together, that we can make a difference in our community.
All right, thank you, Mayor Paula Hicks Hudson. I know you want to address your crowd of supporters who are waiting to hear from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Now I want to send it to my colleague 13 ABC's Bill Horman, who is standing by with former Mayor Cardi Finkbinder's campaign.
Interesting night for Cardi Finkbinder. You have been through this track several times. You've won it before. Some people thought when you were running this time, 76-year-old man, does he have the stamina? You left it on the field right up until the polls closed tonight.
I feel really good, Bill. It was a challenge personally to make sure that you still did have the stamina as well as the brain power to compete, and we did. But I also feel good, as I said earlier, because there were some wonderful persons up on that stage with me, and I have a ton of respect for Paula Hicks Hudson, the winner, and I wish Paula just nothing but the very best and would help her in any way, shape, or form I could help her. And I thought so highly of my colleagues up there that I've said to several people I would have offered each of those an opportunity to serve if they had wished to serve, and I would have made it in such a way that it would have truly been an opportunity for them to shine. Great people were running for mayor of the city of Toledo this year, and I was just blessed to be one of them.
Well, your theme in part was the success you had had in your 3 terms as mayor. That was looking toward the past and how you could help the city in the present.
Correct.
But as you look to your future now, have we seen your last campaign, Cardi?
I've said that once or twice, it seems to me, in the past, and it certainly would be an appropriate question to say, this is it. But you know, what I learned from this is you never really know until you step up to something what you have left, so to speak, to offer and to give. And as long as I have something to offer and to give, Bill, I will not say the door is shut. On the other hand, I am fortunate to have a woman that I love deeply as my wife. My daughters are alive and their husbands and my grandchildren. So I'm a very happy and contented man this evening and looking forward to a little time with the family over the next few days and weeks.
Well, your future may not be in elective politics, but it's always got Toledo in your heart, and you've always done the city proud. Cardi, thank you so much.
It's been a
Congratulations on a strong effort.
It's been a pleasure to work with you during the course of the campaign, and thank you for the very professional approach that you've taken to it.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Cardi Finkbinder. Now let's go to my colleague Lisa Guyton, who is with Sandy Draper Collins tonight.
Thank you, Bill. I am here at Doc Watson's in South Toledo with Sandy Draper Collins, the widow of the late mayor, Michael Collins. And Sandy, you gave a concession speech a few minutes ago. The vote has not obviously been certified yet. Your platform was in part to finish what your husband started, and you won't be able to do that. It's been a long, hard-fought battle.
That's right. But you know, the things that he stood for, I think, are things that other people will pick up and do, I believe. You know, for people to feel good about Toledo and good government, you know, I feel that we should get behind our public officials and that can happen.
Tough night, though, obviously a tough year for you. You know, a lot has happened in the course of 2015 in your life.
It sure did. I'm incredibly surprised, actually, to be here with the shocks that I had this year. But I felt that it was important to try to carry on Mike's work in the way that he was doing it, if that would be the people's will.
Where do you go from here? What will you do now?
Well, I before this, I would tell people I was doing 30 years of pent-up projects that I had put off, and so with family and friends, I'll be doing those things. Mike and I had talked about that what I might do this year before all this happened was to help veterans in our community, and so I'll probably be doing that. If
would you consider another run for office, or is this it?
Well, I think my mom probably taught me a long time ago, never say never, but really this was something special to carry on what Mike was doing, and so I have no future plans to run for office.
Well, thank you so much for your time on this election night. And reporting in South Toledo, Lisa Guyton, 13 ABC Action News. We are joined now by my colleague Melissa Veitch, who is with Mike Bell and his campaign in downtown Toledo. Melissa?
All right, thank you very much, Lisa. Now, we've been watching the numbers all night long, and it's still 1 and 2, Mike Bell. I mean, there is a little bit of a distance here. We've got about a 2-to-1 here, but you are not conceding. It is still not over.
Not yet. We're going to wait a little longer and see where it goes, and then make a determination at that time. But I owe it to everybody that supported me to hang in there as long as I can before I make that particular decision, and that's what I'm going to do.
You know, it's interesting because in talking with you, you say this is this campaign, you wanted to run it with everything you have, especially after losing the last election that you run. So tell me what you did different that you think really has brought a lot of people together on your side here.
Well, I think social media has been unbelievable here with us, and being able to get out and reach people through it, I think has really made a big difference. And I think that probably in future campaigns you'll see it being run a little different, because you can do real-time interactions with people, and that's a pretty good thing.
All right. What do you say about this has been an interesting race, and it still continues to be very interesting for you?
Oh, it's a very interesting race, and it's made me really, though, think about how many people in Toledo care about various forums that we've had to do, and everybody stepping up and saying what their concerns are for Toledo. So I think that's a good thing. So once in a while we have to retune ourselves, and I think this has been a good event for that.
All right. Mike Bell, thank you so much. We'll check in with you as the numbers continue to come in. For now, reporting live from downtown Toledo, Melissa Veitch, 13 ABC Action News.
Melissa, thank you, and thanks to our entire team covering the mayoral candidate.